Hello and welcome to my Learning and Assessment Plan presentation. This overview will address the ways in which I would incorporate the text Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell in order to introduce the literary focus of perspective, along with the application of several psychological theories and concepts to a Year 11 integrated learning class. I would facilitate my students' investigations into the ways in which we perceive and Rowell presents different gangs or stereotypes, and how this can be applied to their local community and personal experience. This will be explored through implementing several teaching and learning strategies, exploring the ways in which the public's perceptions of these groups could be altered. There are three segments to the assessments that will demonstrate students' development and application of knowledge throughout this teaching and learning unit. Students would firstly be required to respond to the novel being studied by writing an analytical essay about the marginalised groups within the text and a reflective essay about the application of psychological theories within it and regarding their own lives. They would then be allocated time to research and choose a foundation or organisation in their local community that supports one of these groups. This allows them choice and autonomy, making them more likely to engage with the content. Students will be required to work in groups to develop a proposal and pitch regarding how they intend on raising money or goods for their chosen organisation, and get in contact with the foundation before advertising their initiative to the wider school community. They will conduct their initiative and finally review and reflect on the choices they made and the ways in which their fundraiser may have affected other students' perceptions of the marginalised groups. This teaching and learning unit would link together elements from the subjects English and psychology in order to help students understand how these disciplines influence each other and work together in the real world. This learning and assessment unit would have the aim of assisting students to take action as a member of a participatory democracy through teaching them to both acknowledge and seek to understand problems, and having the motivation, skills, and knowledge to help solve them. It would additionally allow them the freedoms and opportunities to explore and build upon their personal abilities within their local, socio-cultural, and economic environment. Approaching this teaching unit from a perspective of education for human development would also allow students to build upon their virtual backpacks of knowledge, skills, and understanding. It would additionally help them to learn the SACE capabilities, to become familiar with and gain practice at the underlying life skills used to successfully deal with a variety of situations that may arise at work, home, and within the community. This learning and assessment plan focuses on the capabilities of communication, citizenship, personal development, critical and creative thinking, and personal and social capabilities. Addressing these conventions and concepts will assist students when interacting with a variety of people within their local community, and therefore develop their interactional skills required in the communication stage of the second assessment. This learning and assessment plan bases its structure upon the Big Picture Australia learning cycle, requiring students to explore the variety of foundations and organisations that help those in need, plan what they can do to assist these bodies, take action in running the fundraiser or collecting goods, and finally assess and reflect on what they learned, achieved, and the effect it may have had on others. Analysing their actions will also allow students to see the way that education, politics, and the wider community constantly feed into and affect each other. Students will be required to consider the cultural diversity of their class and the impact of cultural issues and rapidly changing social contexts, and are encouraged to move beyond the celebration of their own traditions and histories to a deeper analysis of the roots, origins, and analogues of power and privilege in their lives. Overall, the learning and assessment plan allows students to have a say in their learning, develop their ownership and identity, build relational trust with the community, and establish an ethical commitment to justice and a fair go. It builds on their understanding of their identity as not only a class member, but also as a school student, young adult, and Australian citizen. It gives students a sense of agency and ownership as producers of knowledge and gives hands-on, community-engaged learning. Students gain a sense of belonging and are encouraged to create community outside of their schools as well as within. Allowing and even encouraging the implementation of strategies such as place-based learning has been shown to to result in improvement regarding students' participation and achievement, particularly for those considered at risk of leaving school before completing Year 12. This is achieved by encouraging students to apply their learning to their local context, as well as finding it more memorable due to them learning it by doing. Throughout learning for and working towards these assessment items, students will develop their skills of reading and analysing not only the focus text, but also the world around them, particularly when they apply their skills and knowledge to assist their community. Carrying this out in their local socio-cultural contexts will encourage students in their growth as decent world citizens, as they will learn to identify and resolve issues they may face within class or their particular group they're working in. Participating in place-based learning would further encourage students to participate in classwork and the wider community, as they will feel more connected to the learning. It also has the potential of promoting civic engagement, democracy, care, and other values of the school. Thank you very much for listening. Here are my references.